For me, the Volkswagen Golf GTI has always had a bit of a Back to the Future air about it. Those tartan seats for a start. When the car was relaunched here in 2005, it was in a 3-door version, which was quickly superseded by the more practical but less sexy 5-door. Well, 12 years later, the Golf 7.5 has reintroduced an old favourite. This is the GTI Performance 1. But before you go get too excited, there are a couple of things you need to know about this one first. Number one, it's a limited edition, with just 150 cars for Australian customers. And number two, it's not available with a manual gearbox, which is a real pity. The Performance One uses the same 180 kilowatt turbocharged 2-litre engine as the old 5-door Performance that it's essentially replacing, even though in its only limited kind of way. But it now uses a new 7-speed dual-clutch transmission that first saw service in last year's Passat All-Track. The Performance One is also more expensive than the regular, less powerful 5-door GTI, $4,500 more expensive to be precise, even though you get 2 fewer doors. Both cars get new bumpers, LED headlights and taillights, new wheel designs, and a new multimedia system inside the car. The regular GTI sticks with the same 6-speed DSG as before and can still be ordered with a 6-speed manual. From behind the wheel, there's not a lot of difference between a 5-door and a 3-door, especially from the driver's seat. And in terms of mechanical differences between the GTI 7 and the GTI 7.5, it's about refinement rather than wholesale change. There's a handful more kilowatts, for example. Really doesn't change the way that the car feels, which, let's face it, is already pretty damn good. This is basically a midlife refresh for a car that really didn't even feel like it needed it. But it has provided Volkswagen with the opportunity to add a few more toys into the mix. The cool active info display dash, for example, can be optioned in the GTI and is standard in the Performance One, while both cars benefit from improved driver aids, like a revised high and low speed AEB system that's been honed at grown-up speeds on the autobahns of Germany. So, why has VW brought back a 3-door? Well, it says basically customers were banging its door down. The car has been available overseas for some time in a 3-door guise, but Australians like the practicality. The 5-door basically supplanted the 3-door back in the day because it was more practical, and that's what people were asking for. However, there is scope to sell more than just this 150 versions of the Performance One. In fact, we hear that there's going to be a basic stripper version of a 3-door car coming to a showroom near you very soon. In fact, the GTI and GTI Performance One are just the forward raiding party in a fully fledged hot hatch attack from Volkswagen. In the coming 18 months, you'll see that cut-price 3-door GTI, called the original, a stripped-down version of the all-wheel drive R, called the Grid, the return of the limited edition Golf R Wolfsburg, as well as a full-time Golf R wagon. And we may even get to see the petrol-electric GTE hybrid that we drove last year. Look, Volkswagen has a long and proud history with the GTI, and it's been basically at the vanguard of hot hatchery for the last 40 years. And with a host of new rivals barreling down the road towards it, this new extended lineup basically says it's not giving up that title without a hell of a fight.